We're about to get started on lab number 2 for studio recording 3, and this will be your final lab in your Adventures in Midlands Audio Institute in studio recording anyway. So this is basically making a audio soundtrack for a video. What we have is an old thing we pulled off of public domain YouTube. So let's get right to work. Let's share the screen so you guys can see what I'm up to. All right, so I'll open Pro Tools, create a new session. Of course, I'll name it Jay's SR3. Let's call it the final lab. All right, and we definitely don't forget to locate it in a specific place. So let's go to the MAI Labs drive, go to the folder for the class, and of course, inside this folder, I have a folder for my labs. All right, so we'll create that. And you notice the first thing you want to do here is import the video. So we'll import the video, and you'll find this folder in your studio recording USB drive that you have, or you can get it straight from me here if you need it to share it in class with you somehow or something like that. All right, so here's the files for the final lab, and you'll see there's a video file. So we will open that, and we don't want the audio portion, but we'll okay, and we'll import the video. So now you see the video is in Pro Tools and it will play. So now we need several things. We need the voiceover. So let's find that. We're going to import audio now. The same folder, there's voiceover. And let's get that in there. So that's me talking in class where I recorded the soundtrack. New track. And obviously now we have the voiceover and you can hear me talking. Get ready, boys. First coach is coming. You'll see we have this. That's the first one. So we got that. So now we need some music. So let's import some music. You see I have some music for you guys in here in a music folder. And you can preview the music like this. So there's some building music for the intro, and then there's a gunfight halfway through, so we see some faster music there. Let's see what we get for faster. There's Apple Click. I selected those two, and I'm bringing those two in. And here's what's kind of fun about this is let's find the song that we think is. There's obviously the one that's the more powerful song. So as you grab it, you can have it kick in right when the first gun shoots at the gunfight. So you see I'm dragging along, and the edit follows the leading edge of that sound clip. So right there, we can get rid of our building music and move over. Of course, this music's a little loud. So there's our voiceover. We'll leave it up. We'll also put a compressor on the voiceover because, as we know, whenever we have vocals recorded, we always want a compressor on it. And we've used this compressor so much, we know a kind of a generic setting for it. So now we have our music in there and edited. There's our beginning music. Let's turn it up a little bit. All right, and then get ready, boys. First coach is coming. At the point it gets to the gunfight. Ready? Here she comes. Whoa! So we see our music's dropped in there. Now we need some sound effects. First sound effects we need, obviously, is a stagecoach. So let's import all the audio that we need. We'll get these in our files for Final Lab. And we'll get our music and go to sound effects. So we need some gunshots. And we definitely need a minimum of a stagecoach coming in. So we do need those two. So that's an Apple click, convert those, done, and we'll import them. New tracks. All right, so here we have our stagecoach.
Get ready, boys. First coach is coming. That's the first one. All right, so you see
we have our sound effects in there, and the only other sound effect we'll need is some gunshots when the fighting breaks out. So we'll go here to our gunshot files, and we'll notice that these gunshot files, let's solo them and check them out. That one's no good. That one's good. And that one's good. So what we do here is we can get rid of that one, and we can edit these down so that we can drop them in place. So the main thing you want to do is be sure to edit these like so. Now you can cut these and go down here to more. We know the guns fight starts around here. And let's see what we have. Let me make the screen smaller so we can follow the action a little better. It's hard to get your screen sometimes where you can see both. All right. So now we see our timeline scrunched up a little bit. And let's drop our gunshots in. Now we need two gunshot tracks because there's a lot of gunshots at times. So I'm going to duplicate this track. I'm going to right click, go duplicate. And see, it also duplicated the gunshots because I'll need those extra gunshots. So you see right here, somebody's about to shoot the gun. Spread it out a little more. So you drop the gunshots on the puffs of smoke. You'll see now we have our gunshots in place. I have to keep switching between tools here. So there's what we have to do basically for the rest of the project is just drop in gunshots. So now we can find more gunshots. So this is definitely an editing exercise. You should be good at editing once you finish this. So there's a puff of smoke. We drop a gunshot there. There's a second puff of smoke. And then we see, now we can just hit C. Now what I do sometimes is I go ahead and I get back to my selector tool. I go ahead and drop in several gunshots because there's a lot of gunshots and you'll be needing these gunshots. And that way, if you just go ahead and make several of them, you can do the whole gunfight real quickly. Again, we're grabbing these things. So the guy in the stagecoach is blasting this guy. Let's get his gunshot in there. Here's a gunshot. See if there's any more gunshots we need. See, there's one guy in the background. Let's play these and see what kind of action we're getting. Woo! We're missing a gunshot there. Let's find that gunshot we're missing. Pow, pow. Got that one. So you get the drift here. This is what I want you guys to do. Just drop these things in, get all your sound effects lined up and mix them. At the end of the whole thing, we want you to make a new track, a stereo master fader. We want you to put a limiter on it, as we always do pretty much when we do about any kind of project. Let's just take the maximum that we always use. You always want to take your ceiling down a smidge. You want to boost it a little. So now let's take a look at what we've got. We've got. Whoa! As you see, we need to drop in some more gunshots. And then once you do the entire project and drop in all your gunshots, get all your sound effects mixed and placed, then you will take the whole thing and bounce it to video. So you just go create, well, not create new, sorry, wrong click. You go to bounce mix and you select video or movie. And it says that's a public beta. That means that they're just starting with this version of it. But anyway, so basically we want this to go to our bounce files folder. We'll hit bounce. I selected real-time bounce, but if we want to do this quickly, we can not export. Remember that, just we can go, okay, there, be sure it's still selected for movie, and we can go offline and we can do it more quickly. It will take videos a bit to render, so you'll see we'll be sitting here. So basically this is your final project. You need to place your voiceover, your sound effects, and your music, mix them, and then export this to a movie file, .mov, or whatever format that your version of Pro Tools is taking. Now, one thing is Pro Tools Artist does not support video, so you will need Pro Tools Studio or one of the older versions of Pro Tools to be able to do this. So anyway, we can now close our session. We can go to our bounced files folder, Jay's Labs, Jay's Final Lab, bounced files. We'll notice there it is. And I can now
video with the soundtrack that this is what you have to do, both the Pro Tools session and the bounce video.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. I will see you in class.